Here.
Carter.
Here.
Dubravik.
Here.
Ingalls.
Here.
Perfect.
Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda for May 9th, 2022. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as stated?
Is it? Oh, the agenda.
Yeah.
Yes, I apologize.
A motion? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item, approval of the meeting minutes from December 13th, 2021. I did notice there's a typo on Gwen's last name.
Okay.
That was the only thing I noticed.
On which page or throughout?
Well, I just looked at the spelling on the first page and saw that it
Okay,
was
I will correct that.
only in one spot, it looks like.
Okay. Spell check will correct it real quick for me, so.
Other than that, do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from December 13th, 2021?
Yes, I make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, they're approved. Next item on the agenda, public comments, except for comments on the public hearings and the work applications. Take it, no comments. Next item is new business, construction application for replacement of asphalt shingles on a home located at 505 East Cass Street. Chimney on the west side of the home also is in need of repair, and the garage is not having its shingles replaced. Mike, you want to walk us
Okay.
through it?
Yes, the house, the shingles are in need of replacement. They are asphalt. There appear to be more than one layer, which Terry can confirm, but there appear to be more than one. I think he also had some damage, some storm damage that occurred. So he's wishing to replace the asphalt shingles with new architectural asphalt shingles, but he does want them to match the accessory structure, which the shingles are in much better shape. Also, the chimney is in need of repair. And that's a quick view of the chimney you can see, and as Terry explained to me, it's not a chimney being used for a fireplace or anything like that. It's kind of a non-functioning, I assume it's a fireplace in the home, but this needs to be repaired. This is the accessory structure, and it definitely appears as though the shingles on this have been replaced. Certainly, they definitely do not look as old as the shingles on the house. So this is what that looks like on this home. There's also, this is what one of the shingles that came off looks like. So they do have this reddish color to them, and I can go back if you wish. So this is what they look like. We're going to go back now. So bear with me. What I want to do is basically go back to this. To my knowledge, they're not going to be doing anything other than the asphalt shingle replacement. They're not going to change the soffits. Certainly there is some painting that needs to be done around some of the edges. But you know, you walk around it, they are coming apart, and there are multiple layers of them. I talked to the contractor. He's gotten quotes from Kern Construction, and Terry had originally mentioned maybe removing the chimney, and I explained that's a very, very different issue than repairing. But I talked to Kern Construction, and they told me last week that they have no plans to remove the chimney. Their plan is strictly to repair the masonry and fill the holes and do what they can to reseal and do that. So other than that, it's just replacing old asphalt shingles. There appears to be multiple layers. It does not appear to be the only layer of shingles on the home, and replace them with new architectural shingles, which he does hope to plan on matching what is on the accessory structure that is on the east side. So if you have any questions for me, the applicant Terry is here. He may be able to answer any questions you may have.
Anybody have questions?
I just want to make one comment. On the photo that you had up there, it didn't show the top of the chimney, and it has a nice, like, cap on it. At least I didn't see it.
Oh, the picture I took did not?
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a nice chimney. I mean,
It has a concrete,
cap-like thing on it, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know how good the screen is.
Hmm.
You can see it, but I don't know how good it is.
Any other comments or questions?
Were you able to find the exact match to the garage shingles, do you know?
He took one that came off the roof to go match it.
Okay,
Um,
best you could.
And I asked him what kind he was getting, but I didn't get a response.
Okay.
But I know he seems to use top quality stuff, so.
I also, in discussion with the contractor, said they definitely should be an architectural shingle, not just the most inexpensive thing out there, but they should be an architectural shingle. And they seem to have no issue at all with that. They too mentioned they don't want to use the most inexpensive shingle out there.
Any other comments or questions?
Just going back to the chimney, so then you're going to have somebody, like, retuck point it? Yeah, okay. We did that. It's not like a huge job, but it's a job.
See, at first, when they went up on the roof, there's two steel bars that support the chimney,
Yep.
and both of them had rusted off.
Where they don't even attach to the chimney?
They're not now. The one is laying on the roof, the other's on the ground, and that was when he mentioned maybe it should come down, but then when he went up again, he didn't think it was that bad.
Hmm.
So,
Will that be reattached then?
Bars.
yeah, that's a tall chimney.
Yeah.
Luckily, looks like it's by a driveway. Is it?
I think it is.
There's not much room between our house and the neighbor's house.
Oh,
So where the chimney is, no, that's not a driveway. His garage is just the other side of it.
oh, I see. Picture makes it look more spacious.
If it came down, it would hit the neighbor's house, because there's a slope between the two homes to boot, and this home is on the upper side of the slope, so if that chimney were to come down, it would.
So that's Michelle's house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions?
I have a question on when you're replacing the shingle right there, you see in the valleys up, at least in the picture, it's catty corner right back behind the chimney. Will you have flashings put in, or will they be as they are now, where it's just sort of an overlap of shingles is what it looks like?
I'm sure he'll do flashing.
Okay, well, you might ask him that specifically. I mean, there isn't a flashing there now, or it doesn't look like it to me. But usually you're better off with a flashing.
He said there's 4 layers of shingles up there.
Are they clearing them all off?
Yeah.
Get a lot of weight off,
And
yeah.
he has to put sheathing
Mhm.
also. But I know I've caulked by where the dormer is.
Mhm.
I've gone up there and caulked that. There is flashing there, but it's old galvanized flashing, so I assume.
So they'll be redoing the flashing around the gable. Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
This is just, it's not really much of anything, but I'm just curious. Your house was built in about 1903, it says 1904, and,
When I bought it, they said 1910. I think the property might have been sold in 1903. I don't know if anybody knows for sure when it was built.
oh, and what I was curious, that when you do that, like, do you know, are there wood shingles underneath, like the original? Is that what it,
I don't know if they're the original, but
are they wood?
shingles?
there are wood
They
shingles.
would.
Okay, yeah, because because I did a little research on shingles, and there were, it was about 1902 is when asphalt started being used more commonly. So most of the homes in Cadillac probably 1905 had wood shingles. There was a little one just down the road from us. It was also a gambreled roof, like a Dutch colonial, and they had wood shingles. We ripped those off. Yeah.
Now, the upstairs on the front, I got in trouble for doing that. But on the back, it's asphalt shingles. And that was what was on the front, it was asphalt shingles.
You mean that the shingle siding on the vertical?
Yeah.
The face? Okay.
Is that a composite? Not that that's your current project. On the facing?
The face it's vinyl, but they're cedar shakes is what they look like. And I got called before the board here because I did that, and they said, well, if I'd have asked permission, they wouldn't have given it, but since they're there, leave, because they look like cedar shakes.
Any other comments or questions? Do I have a motion to approve the project at 505 East Cass Street?
I approve.
Do I
I
have
make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's approved.
Okay, great. Terry, we're all set. Diana at Kern asked if I'd call her in the morning and just verify so that they can, I assume, get shingles and get things rolling for you, because I know we're supposed to have decent weather this week, so.
Okay, I assume they did the permit.
Pardon?
They did the permit, right?
Yes.
Because she came
Yes,
to
they
the
did.
reservation.
Yeah, yes. Yep, we're all set. You can hang around or you can leave. It's up to you.
I've got to go to work.
Oh, okay, well, then we're all set.
Pay for those shingles. All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is our house at 311, it says East Pine, but it's East Harris Street. And the application is to replace the asphalt shingles on our garage with a metal roof, which was suggested by the contractor. And that's the only work that's being done. Oh, wait, no, we're also doing a new garage door on the pedestrian door and then also on the vehicle door.
Okay.
So those are completely worn out.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike, do you want to walk through it?
Well, the first slide shows that it is in need of some roof repair and asphalt.
There's a tree growing out of the roof.
Replacement. I missed that. I missed that. Anyway. So, yeah. Essentially, obviously, it's in need of repair, refurbishing. The doors are not of any type of historic architectural significance that I can tell. With respect to the metal roof, there are a lot of metal roofs in this neighborhood now. In fact, the house right next to it in the picture off to the left off the alley has that. Tom Pearson has a number of homes in that area with metal roofs. Dr. Oh gosh, I'm forgetting his name. But he has a metal roof on his accessory structure off the alley also. So within the same alley, we do have other accessory structures with the metal roofs. So this is what it looks like from Michelle's balcony. Clearly needs to be redone, but again, there are metal roofs, multiple metal roofs in the neighborhood, including some historic homes. This is just another picture of it showing what the soffits underneath look like. And basically it looks like a basic, to me it looks like a basic wood door, not even a metal type door. Wanted to show this. This has come before us before. This is how things turned out in back with the addition and the work upstairs and down below, and it's looking pretty sharp. I don't know what Michelle has planned for landscaping, but she can explain it. Again, this shows the condition of the roof of the garage. Quite a difference from a couple years ago, folks. It's quite a difference. So all I have to say is, wow. It is quite an improvement. So,
Yeah, and just to comment on the structure itself, there's a couple of Sanborn maps in front of you showing that the structure was torn down at the time that Charles Russell built the house. So the first map shows, and our house is at the very bottom of the page, and it's the second from the right. That's our lot right there, there. So the history that we pieced together is that there was another house on the lot when Charles Russell bought it, and there was an accessory structure. And Charles Russell mowed everything down and then built our house, which you'll see on the second two maps. And so the second maps are 1906 and 1914, I think is the other one. And it shows no accessory structure in those two maps. And we don't know when the garage was built. I mean, we could guess. My guess is that it was probably built sometime in maybe the 40s, 30s or 40s, just based on, what we see inside. But the plan is, the house is going to be, we're going to be staining the brick black and painting the trim black with metallic copper and gold. And so the roof of the garage will also be black and with the copper trim, copper and gold. And then the roof will essentially match the copper trim or be close to the copper trim that's on the house and the garage.
You said you're staining the brickware?
Yeah, the brick.
On the bottom?
The brick on the house.
On the house?
Yeah, because the brick is badly stained, and there's really no way to get that cleaned without
You doing the whole?
damaging. Yeah, the whole house is going to be stained
And I'm sorry, what color did you say
Yeah.
the brick was going to be?
black,
Oh,
like
cool.
that building down
Like
Benny
Bigelow's.
Bigelow's building
Oh, yeah,
on the
okay.
corner of Pine and Mitchell. Yeah, so we're gonna do the same thing with the brick, and then paint the trim black, copper, and gold.
So what's, for the house, not the garage, the house is gonna be state black, and then like where the roof is, you said that's gonna be copper?
The roof on on the house is new.
Right.
Yeah,
You
so
have to do
but the
that.
roof on the accessory structure, the garage, will be the copper metal,
Mm-hmm. And then the garage is gonna be
black.
black.
Yeah.
To match the house.
Yes.
Eventually. Okay.
Yeah.
any questions? A motion. You need to abstain.
I'm stunned that you're painting.
Michelle
it black.
needs to
I'm thinking
abstain.
about that for a second.
Pardon?
I was just
Yeah.
imagining it black for a second.
Michelle has to abstain from the vote, but other than that,
I'll make a motion to pass.
second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
I mean, you
have
can't even see the
questions?
garage, so
No.
like that doesn't even.
Do you have more questions? I mean,
So for the application.
It didn't
you're
even
doing
mention.
The house is just for all the garage work right now.
right,
Gotcha. Yeah.
right.
Technically, I don't think you have to come before us to stain.
Not for color.
Color.
Not for color.
Do whatever you want there.
Actually, I don't think Mr.
Okay.
Tuckpoint did either, but
No.
his roof probably did.
Mark, you made a second then?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do a roll call vote. Blyven.
Okay.
Eel.
Yes.
Snyder.
Yes.
Dubravik. Ingalls.
Yes. Thank you
We're
for
all
doing so much
set.
work to that house. It looks
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Good. We have another item on the agenda.
Wait, what is the time frame?
For what?
Oh, for the garage.
I think they're gonna, Mike has to finish cleaning it out, but they're gonna start pretty soon.
Okay, so this season, this
Oh,
spring.
yeah, it'll be,
Late spring, we're already spring.
right, it'll
Well, I
be,
thought you'd be building a brand-new two-story carriage house back there.
Ugh.
uh-huh.
Couple
Yeah.
more years.
As much as Mike would like a new garage,
Well, that's what I
It's
thought
not
we
gonna
were putting a new
happen.
garage.
What's
I thought
that?
you were gonna tear it down and do a new one.
it just, no.
As long as it's structurally sound, you know?
Yeah,
And
it
the garage
is.
door, it'll be good,
Yeah, well, the one that's on it now is
Mhm.
I'm
yeah,
sure.
falling apart.
Right, dangerous to open and close probably.
Yeah,
A
well,
lot of garages I've seen, just,
Yeah.
you wouldn't want to open them.
Yeah. So it'll look nice when it's done. I know the initial reaction on the color is wow, but there are actually a lot of historic houses that are being done in black now. And it's not for everyone, but it's,
We did our restaurant. It was just for a short time when we were selling it, that dark, dark bronze with like a Roycroft red trim, like a dried blood red. It was really beautiful.
the dark colors are
yeah.
gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think Benny Bigelow's building looks pretty
Oh,
sharp,
that's very
so,
nice.
yeah, so. That's the plan.
Awesome.
Okay, so the next item on the agenda, old business, nothing. And then we have election of officers for 2022. Snuck that one in.
Well, for the record, with COVID and so forth, and I know I put a lot of work on the officers, but in 2019, when we did the election of officers, which you do at the first meeting, basically, Gwen made a motion to elect the current officers, Michelle as chairperson, John as vice chair, and Mark as secretary for the remainder of the 2019 calendar year. So, I don't know if it's a stressful job or there's a lot of work for you to do.
The pay is awful.
We try to, we try to do as much as we can here. So, but according to the, the bylaws of the Historic District Commission, we should elect officers. So, I think we kind of went with what we had just because Gwen was quick to cock the gun and fire the bullet, and there wasn't really much discussion. I don't recall any discussion.
Probably none of them were here when we voted them in.
Well, we had to have a quorum, so,
Okay.
I think we thankfully had you
Yeah.
taking the lead.
Yeah.
so.
I mean, it's fine with
If
me.
you
Are
guys
we
are
going to
okay.
vote then, or just
I
accept
do,
it?
so
Should we
we're,
just
what's
pass
the
it, or?
protocol here?
or
The
vote?
protocol would be for someone to make a motion to nominate a person for chairperson, vice chairperson, and secretary. You can either do it individually, or we can do it as a group of three. I mean, if someone wants to shuffle things around, fine. But I kind of remember just the way the motion was made by Gwen, that she named all three positions and all three individuals, and everybody else was like second, so they were, so it's up to you folks.
We'll let you do it again since you did it so well the
Yeah,
first
you're really
time.
good
Or
at
Gwen,
that.
do you want to be vice chair now?
No, that's okay. I'll make a motion to renew the officers as they currently stand for the next, what's the term, 2 years?
1 year
Oh, okay.
technically, but with COVID, I know we didn't do it last year.
Right.
So that would be Michelle as chairperson, John, you as vice chair,
Vice
and
chair and Mark
Mark as secretary. Do we have a second?
Yep.
We have Mark, okay.
Hurry up and
That
do
was
it
quick.
before.
Gwen,
You sure you don't want to be?
and we
Oh,
have
tough job, I don't know.
Mark Blyven, very good. This is going to be neat because in the minutes, I'm just going to do a copy and paste from 2019, just change the date. It's going to be that easy. So, going to take a roll call vote. Blyven,
Yes.
Eel,
Yes.
Snyder,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Dubravik,
Yes.
Ingalls.
Yes.
We have our officers for the remainder of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda, commissioner comments. Anybody have any comments, complaints, or other issues? Next item on the
Oh, wait,
agenda.
actually,
Oh.
I do have one comment. The house next to Andy Ulrich's house, they've had trash outside their house for months. Like, big piles of carpet and,
Where does he live?
like, if you go up Cass, right when it turns on Division.
Yep.
That's still within the historic district, right? Yeah, it is.
It's in the historic district. When I talked to the owner of it, because it is a rental. I believe it's still a rental.
No, it's an
It was
ownership.
sold,
It was
okay.
sold, yep.
Yep. Then I can get with our code enforcement officer, or I can make a phone call and just ask them if they would clean it up. And,
Okay.
you know, you can only put one large item to the curb weekly.
It's
But
been
I,
burning a lot of carpet in the backyard.
but I knew that the previous owner had told me she was gonna do a number of things and put it up for sale, and she, just due to age and other interests, decided to get rid of some of the rental properties that they have.
John, you're not talking about the blonde brick one on the corner, are you? No.
No. No, it's not in the corner. Do you know where Jessica House
But I know
is?
which house you're talking about.
Okay.
I do know.
Okay, perfect.
Is there any identifying description of the house you're going to
It's,
An
it's
address?
next
Right
to the,
there,
you
I'm
know
like-
where the big fountain is up there? Like the,
Yeah.
it's right next to that. So if you're looking at the house with the fountain, it's
Towards
to the left.
downtown.
They share a driveway.
Okay.
Huh, okay.
But if you wanted to walk around town, you'd probably find 50 houses similar.
Yeah,
Right,
but
yeah.
I mean, that,
I
The
know
one
it's
by
not a
the-
historic district, but
Mhm.
That one has a.
the amount of trash in there.
I'd love to see the city enforce some of their, like,
Oh,
no
yeah.
parking on the.
Well, isn't it kind of a fire hazard?
Yeah.
Well,
You'd
No,
think.
it would
You would think
seem
so.
that
Also
it
vermin.
is.
You would think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and if you are burning it in your backyard,
Right,
how many
that's,
toxins
uh,
are in that
That's
carpet?
not,
Right.
that's the
You
first
know?
thing I
A lot
thought
of
of.
poly, like
Yeah, yeah.
polyesters
So
and.
terrible.
yeah.
Right. Mm.
Well, kind of along those lines, I actually have a comment/question for Mike. So I was talking to Jill Brown last week, and I know she's mentioned this before, but I took a look at it, and it's
The stucco.
yeah, it's horrible.
What is-
What can we do about that? The stucco on the house next to the
Oh,
Brown's
next to
house.
them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What can be done about that?
If it's owner occupied, very little.
It's rental.
And
She claims it as her.
I know that our fire marshal.
But it is a
here-
rental,
I know
right?
that our fire marshal a few years ago had, when they did an inspection of it to be a rental, clearly put in there that the stucco needed to be repaired and so forth. And I'll have to get into the history, but I'm far from sure, but I kind of believe that the person who owns it maybe claimed it as a homestead and they weren't renting it. I'll have to see if it's currently a registered rental.
Because Jill
If it's
tells
being-
me it's
if
rented.
Yeah, if it's being rented, we
Yeah.
will send them a
Mm.
letter. And I'll actually get back with you folks and I'll just let you know if it is currently a registered rental.
Sure,
I
it's
know
not
it used to be, and I know our fire marshal
It is or isn't.
sent them a letter, and that was one of the repairs that needed to be made.
Well, can she claim it as a homestead if she's renting it out?
Well, you
Well, she
can. I
should
mean,
be.
at that point, you shouldn't be declaring it as a homestead.
Right, so,
We've,
How come
we've,
this hasn't been enforced? Because it's been known for like 5 to 10 years.
Pardon? Yeah.
And
Yeah.
is it because she's an attorney and the city's
there's
just scared to
no,
go
I-
up against
there's,
her?
It's not like she's here in town, is she? Isn't she over in the other county?
I don't even know her name.
it's,
That's where she
I
lives.
think
forgot
from
her
a
name because I haven't
legal,
seen her in so long.
from a legal standpoint,
I think she's in.
I
Wausau.
don't know,
DA or something.
I don't know how far the city in coordination with the prosecutor's office would go.
Gotcha.
It's not just the city thing. It's got to go through the county too, and that's a tough one for me to answer. There's more to it than just writing a citation because it's got to be enforced in court.
who's the prosecutor now?
I'm not sure of his name. I would know him.
Oh,
if
wait,
it's-
no,
Judge
it's
now.
He's a judge.
the Wiggins kid.
Oh,
Travis Wiggins' brother.
Okay, Corey.
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 Yeah, it's
Corey.
Corey.
What's the
Yeah.
address?
I don't know the address, but it's 2 houses down from John,
Yeah, it's one up from
right next to Jill Brown's house.
Yep.
Going.
Oh, it's right next door to
Going
him.
up the
Yeah.
hill, like, so.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's,
Oh, it's that little one-story house?
No,
That
before
was
that.
2-story.
yeah,
Right before that.
it's,
But if you wanted to go down that road, look at the 2-story house and the white one that with the
Oh,
Yeah,
there's-
it's
clapboard
falling
siding.
apart. I
My
know,
God,
that
it
used to
looks
be
like-
really nice.
I don't know who lives there.
light is a serious issue.
Well, can we start doing something about that? I mean,
That
if
would
they,
be-
if there is a
Blight
way,
issue,
if there
really,
is a
you
way
know?
for us to put pressure on people to correct these issues, we really should do it. Because the blight does not help property
No.
values here. It doesn't help the district whatsoever. So, I mean, I think.
I concur with your opinion.
Can you take stock of some of the properties that you
I would
know
not
are
be-
rentals?
I would not be the one to do it, but.
Who
we
should do
know-
it?
We know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say there is enough of an inventory of homes and businesses that we have blight issues. It's not like,
Well, even, and this isn't technically in the historic district, but like downtown, you've got, what is that? Is
Pizza
it
Plus.
Pizza Plus. Oh my gosh, it's like we're all breathing the same aerosolized lead paint that's been there for 20 years. I mean, every time we walk by, it's like, can they at least scrape it? You know what I mean? But
You would-
who's dealing with
you
that?
would
That's
think that a
blight for
property
sure.
owner,
That's
but
when we need to
it's
redefine
Yes,
the.
private property.
exactly.
It's hard to,
Mhm.
And
you know,
update
it's,
that.
it's.
Well, if they haven't enforced the ordinances over the years, it's pretty tough to all of a sudden.
Oh, no, we can
Cramp.
start.
Oh, you
We
can.
I
can't
know, I'm
just
just
say,
saying, it's
yeah.
hard to get, if when you have
Mhm.
one or two places and you keep up every year, but if you let it go for 50 years and all of a sudden you've got a whole town full of stuff.
And I wouldn't quote me on this, but I heard through the grapevine that there might be some COVID funds funneled through the city to give to homeowners if it's in the primary residence for improvements, home improvements.
That is absolutely true.
So there could be some money there if we do want to put pressure on people to offer, possibly look through that avenue to get some
Mhm.
funding for those improvements through the city.
Well, here's what I suggest is that each of us drive around the district and identify properties that we think.
My house is pretty messed up right now.
Well, and Art, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna get a letter for all the crap on our porch, right? So and we're in the middle
Oh,
of
there's-
stuff and stuff.
You don't
and
want
stuff,
my
but
opinion.
It's
when I talk about blight, I'm not talking about your house. I'm talking about the stucco falling off a house. I'm talking
The
about
white one that's like
you know,
almost pure wood where it's supposed to be painted. Yeah.
just the
Peeling
really
everywhere.
bad stuff.
Yeah.
is
Well,
what-
when you say how much is enough, and then you think, well, where do you draw the line? I mean, there's
Well, I
so many
think-
places that need work.
Right, I think the first step though is for us to identify the properties that we think would meet the,
That's reasonable.
Now, does
Yeah.
the historic district have any priority with the blight?
I don't think so. I think we're
Because
just,
the town, I mean,
that's
there's hundreds of
town
houses in
ordinances.
town that could fall into the same
Right.
category.
The city of Cadillac has what is called the Property Maintenance Code, which was updated a couple years ago with the intent of hopefully being able to help with improving, the blight control issue. As Ann said, there was some money available to deal with some blight and getting people to fix up basically the exterior of their homes, what you could see from the sidewalk and the street. And it was it's a 50-50 match, up to like a couple $1,000s. But it's enough for paint and a couple windows and, some things, maybe a new front door or something like that. And the deadline came, I mean, it was advertised on Facebook, the website, and I'll just say we were very disappointed. I was disappointed, I should say, not we. I was disappointed how few applications they got.
I didn't know anybody who knew about it.
yeah, I
No.
didn't
Nobody-
know.
It's
nobody knew about
been,
it.
I mean,
Is
it's
it
been.
income based
yeah,
though, or how does that work?
It was on Facebook.
yeah.
Is that income?
I'm gonna guess it was on both Facebook and it was on the website. There were some things related to income, but it was actually, it was higher. The income level was higher than I kind of suspected it would be. It was certainly, it was higher than I thought. And I'm sure the application's on the city website and so forth, but, I
Not everyone knows.
I
to look for that,
personally,
they just
talked to somebody that, I knew they had a family member that could potentially get some things done to the house. Again,
Right.
I'm thinking more like a new a new door and, you know, that sort of thing in the front, maybe replace a window or two. And, you know, and I have to believe family members may have helped them with the matching fund thing. But, yeah, we just, I mean, I just thought there would be more applications. I just thought there would be. I mean, when we got so few applications, I'm looking at my income level and going, geez, I've already done a couple things to the front of my house. What have I got left, you know? But
So there's no more availability because you said the deadline came?
I think what they're, and what I think is being considered, and I can't speak for it because it would probably need to go through council, but I think what they're probably gonna do is the 3 that have applied, if they meet the criteria, are probably gonna get it.
Mhm.
And then they'll probably offer it another round.
Yeah.
And at that point, yeah, maybe, I mean, if we didn't get the word out well enough the first time, maybe we need to do a little more.
Okay.
But through the terms of the grant, and actually, the one, there may be some COVID funds for it, but the one we're talking about is the money consumers energy.
Right.
And, you know, I'm sure that'll be one of the things that'll be looked at is how can we get the word out?
If you hear that they're gonna do another round,
Mm-hmm,
before me,
yep.
let's coordinate putting something in the newspaper then.
There's already, just amongst a couple staff members, there's been talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
be
like,
opposed
come on,
to
we got
helping
the, you know, we
make
got the
something.
funds and,
Sure.
you know, it's kind of like most of the grants that we apply for. Everybody's like, well, we need to apply for this grant, we need to apply for that grant. Okay, that's great, you know, and I know I've said this a number of times to people. Are you gonna go out in the community and, you know, get people to donate enough funds to meet the match?
Right.
You know, the match, if there are grants out there, the match isn't just in our budget. You know, it may be able to be put in at a later time if funds are available, but, you know, people have a lot of great ideas and, you know, you can apply for a grant, but okay. Usually the ones that you're successful at getting require typically a 50% match.
Right. Okay.
So if we could just, you know, in our free time,
What do you
drive
propose,
around
like?
and, what I'm thinking is that we drive around, take a look at the ones that in our mind we think are the worst, come back and
Should we just?
set some criterion
So, like-
for what, you know, is from now on, when we see something that, you know, meets these criterion, then we start pursuing whatever we can to get them to do the repairs, so we can address some of the blight issue.
It is
Should
a
we say by next
frequently,
meeting then?
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
is frequently
yeah.
discussed both in meetings and just in general between police, community development. The city manager is very much involved in pushing for us to do more. I mean, there's a push to do more, but again, we're dealing with you know, I can't think of a tougher issue that we have in the city personally right now.
Other than needing to limb up the trees before somebody dies, right? Seriously, the trees on, at least on our block, they're dangerous, and we've told the city that they need to come out and
Trim.
limb those up, and they don't do it. And I've watched ginormous branches fall down, and it's fortunate that nobody's been hurt yet, but it's bad. That needs to be addressed.
Well, we have the form on the city website, report a concern.
Yeah, we've done that. Well,
And,
we'll report it again.
Yep, well,
You yourself.
yep.
No.
Okay, so that's just, I don't think we need to do a motion, we just, by the next
No,
meeting,
just, yeah.
do what we can
I'll put in the
to,
minutes, we discussed
okay,
light and what can be done, and we'll go from there.
okay.
Cool.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
A second?
Second.
All right, we're done.
Question for you, Gwen.